Okay, this is going to be my last video on this because I want to do other things tonight. But I was talking about, my disappointment in Obama. And like I said, they need to, even if you think other drugs are bad, marijuana needs to come off of that. It's not a Schedule 1, I'm sorry. Like I said in my video about it, which is on my YouTube channel, it's not up, I'm sorry, it's not up there with heroin and LSD. Okay? It's just not. And like I said, I hated to use the terms I had to use last time because people would not understand in most cases when I was talking about the high feeling and how your mind, if it's not ready for it, and you smoke a certain amount, or you smoke, 6 or 7 different brands, and all that's going through your system, and yeah, I had an experience where I saw the spinning psychedelic wheels, or whatever you want to call them. But I just went with it, and I went to bed and went to sleep, and that was the end of it. I wasn't trying to jump off of buildings, I wasn't trying to, it wasn't that type of hallucination, believe me. And I was conscious to know what I was doing. I wasn't out there where I didn't know where I was going or what I was doing, any of that. Marijuana doesn't give you that. And it's not the same with alcohol. Alcohol, my aunt will testify to this. I stayed at her house one time and I had gotten some alcohol, and I had drunk not even, it was like a 40 ounce. And I had not even drunk a quarter of it. Not even a quarter. We're talking about that much is all I had. This much right here. I don't know. This much. Well, I guess my hand's not getting, but very small amount, let me put it that way. And the next day, I told her, I said, I was seeing Bigfoot in your front yard. Okay, now that is from alcohol. Alcohol is dangerous. Now I'm not saying we should legalize alcohol. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, alcohol and cigarettes and all that have been proven to kill people. Proven. And like I said, if marijuana was so bad, why have they been giving it to cancer patients for years? And why haven't we heard of a cancer patient going and jumping off a building or some stupid shit? Excuse my language, but that's how I feel right now. So yeah, all this stuff has led me to the Occupy movement, and I probably could go more into it, but I want this to be my last video for the night, so I'll leave it with that as far as that goes. But I just thought it was a good question that my aunt answered or asked of me. I felt the need to make these videos to explain why, some of the reasons I've joined the Occupy movement. It wasn't to be cool. It wasn't like, oh, there's this new thing, and now I'm going to go join them, and I'm going to, I'm going to be an occupier, No, it wasn't like that. It was seeing the economy the way it is, and seeing the way the world's going. And I'm frustrated, I've watched, I'm sorry, folks. Like I said, whether you believe in global warming or not, you have to admit that temperatures hitting 110 on the East Coast this early in the year, I mean, that's something you would expect maybe in August, maybe. They haven't even had a winter really this year. I don't even know if it snowed once there. At least not in the higher. If it was very light dusting. It was not their normal. And everybody from the Midwest to the East Coast was having 100 and some degree temperatures. We're seeing more tornadoes. We're having more earthquakes. People on the East Coast having an earthquake. Last time we had a mild earthquake was back in, I want to say, 1982, and it was when me and my family lived out in the Bridgeport area almost, and it was, it was just a small one. It wasn't even, it shook a few things, and that was the end of it. So we really haven't had an earthquake on the East Coast. So when you hear tornadoes, F5 in Joplin last year. This is unnormal, people. This is not natural. You have to admit something's going on with the weather. The sun is starting to send out solar flares. It's like they said, it's wakened up after so many. And I guess that's probably normal to a certain point, but it's been like the highest solar flares. And they're saying, this stuff affects our technology. It even affects us. From the rays shooting down. So I mean, you have to admit there's something going on with the environment. You have to admit there's things going on with the economy. You have to admit the world's going crazy, people. You can't even protest without the cops being out there with guns. And our cops are supposed to be here to help, not shoot us. Not unless we're pointing a gun at them. I don't recommend that at all. I'm not one of those, But I'm just saying that unless you have a reason to shoot at someone or a reason to beat them. They beat this man, I can't remember his name, over in Anaheim, in Orange County. Tom something or other, or something like that. He was a retard, a mentally challenged person. I don't want to use the word retard. But he was mentally challenged, and they beat him as he was laying there dying and calling for his father. They beat him to death. This man was unarmed. They just responded to a call of a suspected burglary. Or someone acting suspicious or something like that. And they went out there and beat this man. You should only use enough force to restrain the person, not beat them until they're dead. And then they're using tasers that are killing people. And then they're actually pointing a gun that, guy lay, once again, Anaheim. They shot a guy once, and I believe it was his leg. He fell to the ground, and then they shot him in the back of the head. And he was already down on the ground, handcuffed. And they shot him in the back of the head, ladies and gentlemen. Our cops have gone crazy. Our government has gone crazy. And people's going into movie theaters and shooting people, for crying out loud. And I have to sit there and ask myself, where's the love, people? And if that makes me sound like a hippie, this is ridiculous. We ought to have compassion for each other. Stop with the insanity. Stop this beating each other up and going into movie theaters with guns and bullying kids. And that's something else. I don't even care if the person's gay. You do not have the right to go and kill that person or beat them up or call them names. If you're a Christian, you pray for them if you believe what they're doing is wrong, and let it be the end of it. You don't do like the Westboro Church. Oh, that's going to be another video. I'm sorry, I have to make one about that. But, because I'm coming up on 9 minutes again. But, you do not do like the Westboro Church and go out there and picket militaries, and now they're saying they're going to the Colorado shooting people. I'm sorry. No. And when I emailed them before, I've emailed them in the past, these are supposed to be Christians now, mind you. They sent me a whole email back of cuss words. Cuss words! They're disowning family members because their family members are walking away from it because they know it's crap too. You don't teach kids to hate, you teach kids to love. This is not Christian behavior. It's not behavior, period. You don't treat people like that. I don't care if the person's gay, you don't treat them like that. Hold on, I'll be back.